no. Listen, and listen. Since you're an introvert, what it does is when you're out with people, right? It's almost like taking your finger, like a like sharp fingernails and scratching it on a chalkboard, and it makes your whole head tweak, right? And it makes you feel like you're so like
You
you're
just
almost like an
compare
armor.
my outside engagement to a chalkboard?
No, it the way that you act is
All right. Hello.
hello.
Let's get this podcast underway.
Yeah,
This is
facts.
called the
Let's
Stay
get it.
Charged Podcast. My name is Donathan,
My
or
name's Bob.
Jordan, or Jay. This is Bob.
Nice to
I guess
meet you.
Bob, you can introduce yourself.
Okay. So there's different aliases that I go by. I go by Louis Marchetti or Bob within Discords. And my actual name is Bobby. I currently am 28, about to be 29 in March. I'm in the military and I play nothing but Call of Duty, sport games, adventure RPG games. Um, I think that's really about it.
Well, great introduction.
Yeah,
You good?
yeah, I'm
Okay.
good, bro. Trust.
Dom here. I play Call of Duty as well. I'm an avid gamer for a long time. I've been playing games since I think I was like 5. Playing games since I was 5. I became addicted to Call of Duty in 2009, 8. I think was when Modern Warfare 2 came out. Been playing
Mhm.
that for a long time. Been playing sport games as well. I just like the game, to be honest. I like the game. I like to hang out and chill. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Aliases have always been Dom. It used to be like JD and goofy shit like that, but majority of the time it's just been Dom. So Dom is my middle name. I'm not gonna get my whole social out to y'all, but yeah, it's my middle name. That's where the reason why it became a thing. But other than that, that's pretty much where I'm at. Let's kind of like get into the topics and yeah, get this nervousness out of the way. I'm a little pressed. I'll be real. I take this mic off. It looks goofy as fuck chilling here.
There's nothing to be tripping
Gonna be
about,
out to
bro.
the public, Bob. That's what I'm saying, bro. All
I
right,
get it.
let's get it.
All right. So what's the first
First
one?
topic is, let me bring it up. Kind of have a little sneak peek. Might cut that. First topic is crazy thing that happened to us, but crazy things that happened to us recently to me or you. So anything? What's been going on in life? Mainly, this is like kind of like what's going on right now. What you doing? Anything crazy? Stuff like
So
that.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, between us being almost 30, we're trying to, sit here and, progress in our lives and, move forward and have, for myself, I'm married, as you see, right? I'm trying to get a house and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And the the market is substantially out of this mind, and
What do you mean in the
I
market? The
would
job market?
not like just job market, just
Job market, house market.
housing market, job market, everything is substantially too high for your common average, run of the mill, hey, let's start our lives and trying to start your life for that future, for that progression that you want to get into. And it's not just myself, it's not just you. I'm just saying in general, like at a whole, right? The
Mm-hmm.
the the common I would say, young adult that's trying to progress in their life. It's truly hard as hell to progress. It's hard as hell to try to sit there and make your mind and also yourself within yourself, right? Sit there and think like, okay, hey, I'm making it, right? And even if you have a house over your head, even if you have food in your mouth, even if you have clothes on your back, it the process and how life is going right now as we speak, it 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 almost it's almost like a contradiction at itself, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like it makes a person sit there and question, am I actually doing okay? And at that point, that's when I would say myself has to sit there and go, okay, hey, what would what would have my dad said to me,
right.
right? What would have sat there and had a conversation with my father? What would he say, right? What would he have told me? And those things that he would have told me is, okay, do you have food in your mouth? Do you have clothes on your back? Can you go to sleep at night making sure that myself or yourself is happy with where you're at right now? Even if it's, hey, let's say the bottom barrel of life, right? Are you happy with where you're at? Okay, how, and then if say I am happy with that, right? And I can go to bed that next day, what do I think about? Okay,
Right.
that would be, common close goals. But I would say crazy thing that I would say that, honest to God, happened to me was when I was at work. And when I was at work, I think, I'm not. I think, people sit there and, we go job to job, right? And we do jobs just because we're trying to make a living. We're trying to, get our bread, making sure that we pay our responsibilities and do our dues, right? But my job is not anything substantial to where, I'm making top dollar money, right? So even at that, like, I'm kind of upset to come to work sometimes, I wake up and it's, uh, is it dawn? Yeah, it's the ass crack of dawn, right? And I'm not a morning
Yeah,
person,
it's
as
not dusk. It's dawn.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So at the ass crack of dawn, like, and I go to work and I don't even want to be there, to be honest with you. Like if I'm sitting here thinking about my job, yeah, I don't want to work at the job. I don't want to be there no more. I want to try to find something that is going to give me a career, right? And that's pretty much where we're at right now in life, is now that we're at the age that we're at, we're trying to get to that point, right? And it's very hard. But going to work, I think it was a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. I can't recall. But I went to work. Start of the day was good, vibing, getting through what I needed to get through, and then I think I just got back from lunch. I come home for lunch, so I just got back to work, and I got a 5 foot person telling me how to do my job, and he's been there
Just
2 years,
no
right?
disrespect to short people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, he tried telling me how to do my job, and then
I'm
telling
shorter
me
than
that,
Bob. Just don't take it personal. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But he's sitting there telling me how to do my job. He's been there 2 years. He's not a supervisor, and that tilted me on top of many other things that was going on through myself. So at the end of the day, like, as a grown man, I was in the wrong on how I acted, because I went on to me, dude. Like, I was all the way here and then some. Okay, like I was through the roof. I think all I seen was red, like my shirt. All I seen was
So
red.
what? I was just trying to tell you to do your job.
Yeah, pretty much. He was telling me how to do my job, and then telling me that I'm I was trying to take work from one of the trainees. And when that happened, like I said, I seen red. He got in my face. He said things. We exchanged words. He exchanged words to me. Didn't sit well with me, so he got in my face. And then before anything could happen, I had to walk away, and go home. so I clocked out early. And then the next day that I came to work, which was Monday because it was on a Friday, I remember that. I walk around, I would say the shop because that's pretty much what it is. And I'm getting looked at like I'm a, you know the word. And since then, it's been annoying. It's like a gnat going through the day on going to my job and working. And here's the thing, and I think I've explained this to you, but I'll just explain it in general. If I have to, or not have to, if I sit here and make a decision to where I'm gonna fight somebody, and if something happens and I go to jail, I don't just have to do time in the civilian life. I have to do it in military life as well.
Did you mention that you were in the military?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they've known because I have to leave every month, and then they wonder why I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I have to do double the time of the same sentence, whatever that sentence would be. I'm not saying I'm gonna kill somebody. Okay, that's not what I'm getting at. I'm not saying
that's terrible.
Yeah, I'm not saying
no.
I'm gonna kill. I'm not. I'm not saying I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm gonna go to
Yeah.
jail for murder. But I'm just saying, at the fact of, we us as adults and us as men and grown men, we have to double think about, okay, do we have a family? Because if I didn't have a family, you bet your Skippy hind then that I'd be on him.
So like if you didn't have your family, also not in the military, or what?
Yeah.
Would it matter if you're in the military or not?
Would it what?
I said, would it matter if you're in the military or not? You said if you didn't have a family.
No. So
like, you only didn't react a certain way because you have a family to worry about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And plus on top of that, like, I'm the only one that's doing something with their life left in my family. So it's like, set a good example. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially to my younger brother,
Right.
So, that's the crazy one thing,
Crazy one thing. That's crazy. I'm glad you retained yourself from going AWOL. I'll be honest. I don't need that. I don't need, all of a sudden you give me a call from the pen and being like, yo, bro, I messed up, bro. Like,
no, the crazy thing was, like I said, I think I told you this, but she texted me 20 times. My wife texted me 20 times and sitting there saying like, hey, don't do it. Please don't do it. Like, and I think after the fucking 12th one, the 12th text message, that's when I was like, okay, that's when the brainsicles started, twirling and twisting and circling.
That's a word of the day. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Even a word. Let me look that up real quick. Brainsicles.
But yeah, that's when the thoughts started percolating, and that's when I made the decision to go home and clock out. So,
well, that is crazy. I'm glad that you didn't lose your composure, or if you at least was trying to.
I did lose.
I mean,
composure,
you lost your composure, but I'm glad you didn't act on the composure.
Yeah, I lost composure, but I didn't lose complete composure, because if I would have lost complete composure, game over, bro.
I'm gonna be real honest. I don't think I have anything on remote that level. You put me on the spot. I mean, I guess I'll tell you a funny story that happened recently. I don't think it's crazy.
I mean, look.
I'm not out here, thinking about like, going postal.
You could pick something that's, I would say, a crazy conversation, right? Like, you going back and forth with one of your work buddies, and they're sitting there laughing, and you guys are talking about something out of the wazoo. Like, that's crazy.
All right, so like, I'm gonna leave it to this is where the topics went. Okay, the introductions, we're a little bit of fuzzy on that, but mainly introductions. We succeeded on that department, but I think we went to the crazy thing that happened to us recently. I think you're gonna take the cake for that. Cause I don't have anything crazy on the top of my mind that's like, damn, I could have just went to jail, you know?
Okay, so if look, if your work life isn't that crazy, then just say
I got a
crazy-
boring work life, bro. It's boring as
Okay,
shit.
well,
I don't really talk to people. I just box
Yeah.
shit all day up until I
Well,
can find
like-
something new. But
like I
That's
said,
a-
just talk about a conversation.
I'll
that
have
was
a
crazy.
conversation. Okay, like it's Valentine's Day. All right, this is funny, but it has nothing to do with like her, like my significant other, which I am with. No, it was so this is how my day went. We were texting, and we were texting about this podcast, saying we got to get stuff to go over and to prep for.
Mhm.
Which obviously didn't cross my mind anything crazy. I just crazy. I thought it was funny, but this is I guess this is have a stroke. All right. Anyways, it wasn't crazy. It was more or less just a funny story. So I
Yeah.
go, obviously I'm at work, I'm texting you saying, yo, we having conversations throughout the day. And then you're like, yeah, bro, I'm going to probably talk to you a little bit. And then I'm going to head off. I'm spend time with her for Valentine's Day. And I was like, yo, right on. That sounds like a plan. I was like, shit, that's right. Today is Valentine's Day. My ass has been kind of like on the come up of getting money back in my pocket. So I was a little like kind of like lost for words and didn't know like what I should get her. I mean, we really didn't talk about much, but I was like, man, I need to get her some shit. So I go throughout the day, I'm thinking of what to get, whatever, and I stop by Walmart on the way home, and it's Valentine's Day, so I'm not the only one that was late. There was like normally if you go to Walmart or if you go in any store and you're going for Valentine's Day gift, there's like a million people doing the same thing and rushing last minute. It was a madhouse.
It's the listen. That's the common human being in this. In
It's
this day and
fucking
age.
madhouse, bro.
It's
I was over here
almost
like,
minute.
damn, I'm gonna fucking do a better job next year prepping for this, so I don't have to deal with these goons, you know? It's like, all right. So, anyways, I walk in. I'm like, man, I don't know what to get her. You know, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to the Valentine's Day section. Me in my head didn't think about all the people. Me in my head was like, man, cool to have a whole selection. I got a lot to choose from. I'm gonna go down the line and I'm gonna, you know, get her some stuff.
Yeah.
So that didn't plan at all. Obviously, I went to the aisle, the Valentine's Day aisle, which is, to be fair, I worked at Walmart before. I know how quick that the seasons change. They already had not Christmas, but Easter gifts up, dude. They already had the bunnies out. All right, half the aisles were bunnies. Okay, the other half were Valentine's Day in shelves, and I say shelves because everything was gone. Okay, I was limited. All right, I was limited time, patience, and merchandise. All right, it was a struggle. So anyways, I walk in, whatever, there's people everywhere, the lines are packed, whatever, we got 40 people in the lines. Me, personally, if you could tell how pale I am, I don't get out much, bruh. And I'll be quite frank, I was having an anxiety attack off rip. I was just, all right, I gotta get in, get out, whatever. So I immediately go in. I go into the aisle. Start looking at people, trying to make eye contact, whatever. Mind your business, whatever. I'm staring at damn shelves.
Yeah.
Looking left, looking right. I'm just like, man, none of this shit looks good at all. Doesn't look appealing. I don't think she'll like any of this. She don't like flowers. She's not the flower type. So I'm just like, you know what? There's some chocolates. Those little chocolates with the cherries in them. I was like, oh yeah, I like me some chocolates. She you know, I know she likes some chocolates. You know, she's a little, she's underneath the weather. So she's like, I feel like she'd be hella clutch with some chocolates. You know, she's like, hell yeah. Also before then, I'm sorry, I got something before I went to the chocolates. But on the way of me looking around and trying to like retain composure and not lose and have an anxiety attack in the store, I went by, I looked around, and I was like, damn. I looked by, I ran by some Slim Jims. She loves some fucking Slim Jims, bro. She's made it like a parent and known every single time I went to like a gas station or something, she gets a fucking Slim Jim, bro. Like, has to get a Slim Jim, regardless. So I went by, I saw some Slim Jims, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. It was kind of, the way I'm explaining the story, it sounds like a shitty move. Like, damn, you didn't really think about Valentine's Day, but I was broke, so I didn't know what to get. I was limited, okay? There was a rush. I don't need no judgment in this pod, all right?
There's no judgment.
I'm not saying
bro.
from you. I'm just saying from anyone else who sees this. All right, I don't need no
No, I
judgment.
got-
It's the thought that counts.
trust.
All right, so I saw.
yeah,
I went by.
facts.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I went by. Picked up the Slim Jims, got two, and I went in the aisle, and I was staring at them pom poms and hearts and shit. And she don't really. She's not like the corny type. If I got her like nothing but hearts and shit like that, she think that's cute for a second. But overabundance, she's like nah. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get her these chocolates. So I pick up these chocolates, get in, and then I'm over here. Get in line, whatever, waiting, and wanting to get out of a place that you can't immediately get out of. It's like wanting to ride at a ride at the theme park, and you want to hit that ride real quick, but you don't got that VIP pass. You just gotta sit there and just make small talk. But in reality, I had no one else that I knew in a convenience store, so I'm just sitting here waiting impatiently. I'm over here like Eminem, fucking got my palms are sweaty and shit. And, like I'm over here losing it, just
Almost
like in line. And I'm just
road
like,
rage.
you say road rage?
Yeah, it's almost like that. Trying to get to where you want.
Kind of, but
to.
not with stupid people like swerving in and out and controlling the environment. It's more or less stagnant people. They're like a can of sardines just chilling, and fucking going in order.
We're going off topic.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I got you.
So I get the stuff. I head out, and I'm on the way out, and I'm dodging cars and shit like that. And I walk by this car, and this car said, "I eat ass." I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is an SUV. And they were getting in the car, so I kind of like eye contact with the person, and then I look at the behind. And you know how like those like stick figures with the family and stuff? Like there wasn't on there, but there was like a couple other stuff, like I think a random Fox logo, like those old school Foxes. And literally the other one said literally word for word, bar for bar, letter for letter, I eat ass. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I don't know. I had my, the two Slim Jims and the chocolates, and I had a little chuckle, but I just couldn't believe. I was just shocked. So I was like, man, I'm gonna save this for the pod. So here we are. So anyways,
you had to.
That's my crazy, weird.
I mean, look,
social interaction of the week. I guess that's my social interaction of the week. Yeah.
No, enough said. But not like for you that's
is that crazy for me?
Yeah, facts. Because
I feel like it's probably a normal day for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely normal for a lot of people. But here's the thing: not a lot of people are socially, I wouldn't say awkward, but you're an introvert, bro. Introverts don't like, a lot of people in a convoluted area.
Yeah, I need a Xanax like off rip when I go into places like that. Like if I had like a friend there, like if you were there with me, or if anyone else, like a family or whatever,
would have been the same.
I mean, I kind of would have been on edge, but at least I'd have been talking to y'all,
You still would have been the same.
I know, but at least I'd have been talking to y'all. It wouldn't have been like, it wouldn't have been like, so when I'm by myself, it's just me and my thoughts, Like right now, I'm just telling you, like everyone and you, the whole ordeal and shit. I'm having a conversation. Like I'm a little bit more content. I'm not like over here mind racing, having conversations in my head and battling. So it's like
still would have been the same.
You're not understanding. Like I understand you kind of keep saying that, but I'm just saying that at least I would have had someone to talk to, and made contact. Remember that one time? No. Remember that one time that you forgot the wallet, your wallet in the car, and I was just talking to you.
So upset with me.
Well, yeah, because we had to wait even longer, bro, to find. But anyways, long story short, you obviously you went to this guy. I was talking to you. We were talking to people, but I was just trying to make how, like, for instance, right now I'm kind of like a little nervous, obviously because this podcast, first time, first what. But I'm just trying to break the ice. I'm over here saying goofy shit, and that's what I would do at the store. Like literally, I would just say random shit. You'd be just chilling, having a normal conversation because you can act right in public. I can't act right at all.
Look, bro.
Some old granny come out and say, post up.
Stop. You're not. You can't be saying that, bro.
Not like. Don't make it serious, dog.
Stop. I know.
I'm kidding.
Making a joke. I'm making a joke.
All right. Yeah.
Facts,
all right.
facts. Cool. So look, this is what I was trying to explain to you, and you said, "Hey, that's that's too much or whatever, right? All I'm trying to explain to you is when you're in public, and even if I'm with you, yeah, you'll be talking to me, but it won't be a conversation. You want to know what the conversation is?
What?
Hey man, can we go? Hey man, can we hurry up? Yo, these people over here are pissing me off. Hey, did you hear that one person? That person's stupid. Those are the things that you say when I'm out with you.
I'm not a mean person.
I never said you was a mean
But I
person.
mean,
But here's the
kind
thing.
of like,
It's almost so when you're out in public, right? And like I said, you're very
yeah, I mean,
introverted.
maybe I'm an asshole. I'm sorry.
No, listen, and listen. Since you're an introvert, what it does is when you're out with people, right? It's almost like taking your finger, like a like sharp fingernails and scratching it on a chalkboard, and it makes your whole head tweak, right? And it makes you feel like you're so like
You
you're
just
almost like an
compare my outside engagement to a chalkboard?
No, the way that you act is like taking your fingernails on a chalkboard. It tweaks the way that you act because you're introverted, right? Are you not
No,
understanding?
I get you.
Okay. So when you go to talk, it's not a conversation, right? It's not a common conversation like we're having right now, back and forth. We're doing give and take, right? All you're doing is giving, and it's not really giving.
All right, let me
It's
just call you out
you.
real quick. Okay.
Call me out. What are
Yeah,
we
hold on,
calling me out
we're
for?
a little bit over the topic, but we're gonna close with this, okay? We're gonna close
Yeah,
this, go to the next topic, okay?
Okay.
First of all, yes, I say, yo, hurry up, yo, let's go. 'Cause I do the same thing when I go to shopping with her. When I actually did go shopping with her, I'm just like, yo, get it and get out. You know, I want to get it and get out. Don't want no
Mhm.
small talk. Don't want no, hey, I want to get this ice cream or whatever. I don't want to get the like random stuff. I just want to get it and go. Okay, so when I'm talking to you in a public environment, you're the one that's raging. Just so we know, I'm the one that's impatient, but I'm not fully raging yet. You're the one that's over here trying to body people. All right, let's just make that sure no. Like it's majority of the time because you're the one on like I don't know if it's me pissing you off or the person you're with or whoever, like whatever scenario. For instance, for waiting a long time because you're impatient just like I am. Sometimes like you like going out, but majority of the time when it comes to like going and getting stuff, you're just like after a certain point you're like, all right, let's cut it. Let's go. Then you start losing it. So like when I try to talk to you, you're over here just like I'm pretty sure that one time that we actually went to the store and I was talking to you and I was like, hey, let's go. Whatever. And I was just saying goofy stuff and you're over here just looking left, looking right. And you're going back and forth. I'm like, bro, you all right? You good? You're like, yeah, I'm good, bro. You all right? You kind of do the same thing. You're just a little more adventurous, I guess. Adventurous, a little bit more agile. And I'm over here. I'm probably doing the same thing, like doing that, but I'm just trying to make small talk to make it laugh, you know?
I got it.
You understand?
I got you. I get
and then especially you got so like, I guess I don't know if it would be pissed would be the right word or even
it's annoyed
that you had to go back out to the car.
Facts.
And I understand that, which you automatically were annoyed at yourself. You knew that we'd be annoyed, and it was just an awkward situation. But that's understandable.
Oh.
You're a social butterfly, bro. You like when I first met you, bro, way back.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone just shouted your name type shit, like a damn motherfucking MVP at the Super Bowl type shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over here just like, Nate, I don't know you. I don't, whatever. Like, I guess if we have a relative topic we can talk about, but I'm not good at small talk. I'm not. And you said way back, you said that, hey, I used to be good at that, but I can't do that anymore. When it comes to small talk, you can small talk to a certain extent, but after a certain point, it's like, okay.
I mean, you was good at it, right? Like, was. And when I say that, it's a fine was, like, very thin, fine was, because when we were growing up, you would sit there and see how I talk. You've seen how I was, so on and so forth, and then you and my brother both would be like, I don't get how he does that.
No, not at all. I would look at Mike like, yo, Mike, what's in the sauce?
Yeah. So, like, I wouldn't really say I'm a social butterfly. I really would not say that. I think it's just
Compared to me,
because my
100%. But you go
well,
on.
yeah, compared to you, yes, I get that. But what I'm getting at is I watched my mom because my mom, she went out all the time, right? My dad barely did it. My dad was almost like you, right? My dad was an introvert. He didn't all he wanted to do was just be with the family, and if he's with the family, he feels content and you know, content
Right,
within
right.
within the fam, right? But if it was just him, he wouldn't want to do that. Um, but I seen how my dad was and how he talked, and then I seen how my mom was and how she talked. My mom was more rambunctious and crazy with going out and meeting new people because by the time that she hit, like, say we go to a bar, nobody knows me, my mom, my dad, you, right? By the time that we went to go leave at the end of the night, everybody would know who we are. And that would be because of my mom. Does it make sense?
Right.
So when I like
She would try
seeing
to
my mom,
she would kind of like break the
yeah,
awkward,
she break the ice. She break
break
the
the
ice.
ice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, facts. That's how my mom was, and like for a long time, that's what I was doing, and then now, like, hey, God rest their souls. Now myself, I'm not that no more.
You just turned into your dad.
Yeah, pretty much.
We can
Like
agree on something then.
I can go out and talk, but if it's just myself, I won't do it. Does it make sense?
Yeah. So you don't. So what you're saying is you don't really small talk anymore.
No.
Yeah, like you used to. Well, you used to. You did a lot when we were growing up.
And I think it's because I moved away. So yeah, yeah. But to cut this short and to cut the end of this so we can get to the end. Yeah, no, like I can't do that crap no more. I can't go out and talk to somebody, and have a conversation. Like, will it happen and does it happen every so often? Yeah, because she'll sit there and say like, did you know him? Did you know her? No, I didn't. I just talked.
Yeah. So I mean, when I'm
But
with people, I'm a little bit more content. I'm kind of on edge a little bit, but
I think it's the main reason why like I changed was because of how people are. Like, they're not. This is nothing against other people, but it's almost like
there's a certain group.
the invitate. Like, you know how when you have a conversation, you feel like there's an invitation for you to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that invitation doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. Like that self worth and that self respect to have a conversation with another person because this is life, right? And that's what human beings are supposed to do is communicate, right? There's not that anymore nowadays. And every so often you'll find that one person that gives you an invitation and you accept it and then you talk, right? That's the crazy shit that happens on this fucking God's green earth, right?
Right.
Is a person like yourself goes out and say you go out to buy, you know, your insulin caps or you go to get this for, Lindsay because she's sick or whatever the case may be. And then you have that common conversation. There's no common conversations anymore. People want to get in, get out. And if somebody stops you from getting out, that's when people tweak.
Right. Right. Well, I'm a diabetic. I don't know if I said that, but I'm a diabetic. Yeah, I've had that for years. Since I was 9. But yeah, you're right. All right, we're gonna go on to the next topic: Call of Duty, and where we think COD should be now, and how this game could be better. This is a very analytical topic. I think I talk about COD more than anything else in my life, other than diabetes.
You want
So,
to go first or do you want me to go first?
I mean, I'm gonna let you go first because I'm gonna be here all day.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead.
All right.
State of Call of Duty, really.
I mean, for me, we talk about this all the time. You pick my brain, I pick your brain. Sometimes you agree, sometimes you don't. Sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't. Everybody has their own opinions on each game, so on and so forth, but the one that we're talking about right now and on this topic is the one that we're playing as of today, right? And one that everybody's playing. When you play it competitively, on my brain is they could have sat there and expanded the maps. What I mean by expand is not really move things so much. It's just more so of expanding it to make it a bigger area that you're in and that you're moving in, instead of everything being all so small.
You talking
And
about the size of the maps?
Yeah, like
Okay,
if
so
they
let me
coulda-
just catch people up real quick. Talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It's a remake of the original Modern Warfare 3, but what they did was just there. If anyone's not familiar with how Call of Duty is, if you're not an average Call of Duty player, if you're not that knowledgeable, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is a remake. It was a continuation of last year's game, which is Modern Warfare 2. And all the maps, the original maps, are all OG Modern Warfare 2 maps. All original maps. Now, with Bob's, I'm going to kind of lead into Bob's segue here. He's basically saying that majority of the maps that are made and how the game is played, it doesn't really feel organic. It doesn't feel like it's made to perfection how it should be. So he's kind of ranking the size of the maps, and it's really similar. I feel like if it was the type of movement from the old game to the new game, it would be a lot better. It would flow a lot better. But there's a lot of things that go into work. But I'll let you discuss your view on it.
So, anyways, like I was explaining, and thank you for hitting those, you know, little dots within the topic that we're talking about. No, like I said, if they go to expand the maps just a little bit, even term, right? Like I understand when you spawn on Esky side, or I said Esky, security side, right? That's a pretty big spatial area, but if they would have took security, right? You take security, right? It's here, right? If they would have moved it back, right? Just a little bit, a little bit more, right? And then expand everything else. I feel like the flow of how we play and how fast we move in this game would be completely way better, right? On top of that, you also have all these different patches that are going on in this game, right? Mainly because of ranked and competitive, right? And it's also because of pros, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these patches are happening, right? And what doesn't sit well with me is, and I think it's been like this for the past 3-4 years now, is you only have 2 guns. I get.
Well, I mean, it's
having,
always majority of the time it's always been 2 to 3 to I think it's been a long, like normally there's always 2 dominant weapons in COD.
Yeah, of course. But what I'm getting at is you have in every game, right? You'll have a weapon that's cheese, right? And what I mean by cheese is you'll have a weapon that's too OP, right? And 9 times out of 10, that weapon is not going to be in competitive. It's not going to be in ranked. It's not going to be in anything competitive wise, right? Mainly because even if you nerf the weapon, it's still going to be cheese, right?
Mm.
So I get that part. All the other weapons, if they're just mid run of the pack, why not buff them a little bit to make them kind of, I wouldn't say really more viable than the 2 weapons that we're using, but make it enough to where they can compete, right? And don't make it to where I would say, okay, for example, we have the MCW and we have the rival, right? Let's say that, for example, they just did the striker, so we have 3 right now, right? But
Right.
even the striker, if they could have did like is it a buff or is it a nerf if they go to take the recoil away? Like, cause that visual recoil,
That's a buff.
I'm gonna be
That's not-
100%.
You're nerfing the recoil, but you're buffing.
Well, yeah,
the
okay,
gun.
yeah, my fault.
Nerfing is making it less. It's just it's making it it's
yeah.
it's a
I got you.
decline, not a positive.
Yeah. So, I the visual recoil on that Striker 9, it's substantial because it messes with me, right? For somebody that, again, we talk about this, how I play COD and how I play COD now, it's completely different, right? But it's now just going to the fact of learning, okay, hey, this is where they push, this is where they go, blah blah blah,
Right.
whatever else.
FYI,
The-
for anyone's information, we are not pro level players. We are not competing to be pros. We are an avid.
No.
We love Call of Duty and we like to play ranked and competitive.
Yeah,
And
we just like to
we're
play
in the
the
middle
game
of the pack.
competitive.
We like to compete to a certain extent. Obviously, there's
Yeah.
better players out there that know how to take these guns and have a better opinion on them. But these are our middle of the pack opinions on what I think and what we think, and what he thinks about where the guns or the game should be.
Yeah.
You can agree or
But-
disagree, whatever. If you agree, great. If you don't, I'm sorry, but it's our opinion.
Facts. But like I said, the visual recoil, I feel like for somebody that can't, I wouldn't really say can't shoot straight. I would just say a common
shoot straight?
person. No. I would say a common person that doesn't like visual recoil because, like, for example, let's go back to MW2, the game before this one, right? That one had a lot of visual recoil. Like, I'm talking about way too
Right,
much,
a lot. yeah.
right? You also had to take off a certain setting for like a weapon blur, and I would say, like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like muzzle smoke. I don't know what it was, but like just the visual side of that game was, to me, was crap. And it would mess me up on my aim. So talking about the whole way COD used to be to now how it is now, like, it would be a lot of visual stuff. It would be a lot of visual recoil. It would be the way that the gunplay is in general, right? But on top of that, I'm getting a little too off topic, but when it comes to the maps, when it comes to how the game plays itself, it's just too fast for these maps. Too fast. The way you move, the way that the maps are, I'm not saying small compared to a lot of other maps that have been in Call of Duty, but it seems very, very small. Like, for example, Invasion. To me, it's big, but the way you move, it's almost like like somebody could be a size.
Let's just okay. So
Right,
let me just
and-
round up real quick. So majority of the maps we talk about with other people as well, which obviously we may or may not have them on the podcast anyways. But these maps, yeah, like I said in the beginning, they don't really play well, because they're not the how fast you move, the lanes that they're in, and I feel like if you had basic movement, not no sliding, not no diving, not no automatic sprint. But here's my thing: automatic sprint is a plus when you go a certain speed and you don't go over that. Attack sprint is an issue for a lot of people, but there's a lot of variables that make these maps feel congested based off what you're explaining, and I agree. I just think that these, whenever they should have made at least 6 to maybe 7 original IP maps instead of making these, like, it's kind of ruining the experience that I had when I was younger on these maps, which it sucks, but I know that that's not the true experience that I had, especially in the DLC. I don't think they're going to ever implement DLC maps to this game, but the original OG Modern Warfare 2, the maps in general, I don't remember them playing this bad. Like, I remember whenever I was a kid, I used to do, go into private matches, trying to get glitch spots, stuff like that, enjoy it, shoot free for all, whatever. But you went at a certain pace, and I feel like back then, I didn't play that game competitively, so I really have no comment on how the matches were played. But based off as a public standpoint, I enjoyed the maps a lot better back then on the style of movement than I do right now, which I played it in multiplayer. I played it in private matches, competitively, ranked. And I guess the speed is definitely a factor with those.
The whole game, the way that it just flowed, right, was completely better, right? But like I said, the maps is the situation where, like I explained before, I would say the gunplay, same thing. Guns in general, it's been the same for a very long time, and to me, this is just my opinion. There should be more than just two guns.
So
From
you're wanting
from
a
from
three
a
gun
side,
meta,
three or four,
3 or 4.
four.
I don't. There's
Yeah.
never been 4 guns, but there's
Okay,
been 3. So you want
and I
another
get
gun
that.
to get in the mix. And currently, right now, as we speak, there currently is another weapon. That is the Striker 9, which you mentioned
Mm,
about the visual recoil.
mm,
But it's a Striker 9, the Rifle, and the MCW. Which me personally, I would love to have multiple guns in the meta, but they have to be balanced enough, and also past GAs, which GAs is another subject that we can get into at a later time. But
yeah.
we could talk about COD all day, but majority of
Yeah.
it, I guess what you're saying is, I guess what I'm asking is where it is right now and what you think COD should be. So how would you explain what you think this game should be? Do you think the movement should be tweaked? Do you think the map should be enlarged? But like I feel like the maps already, in my opinion, have already been scaled up. They've already
So at a
been scaled
whole,
up.
right? It's been scaled up, and it's mainly because they took the old maps and put it into this one and implemented it into this one, right? And that the upscale happened. We see the upscale, right? Because if you look at terminal, there's specific things that are not in terminal anymore, right? In this game. Because I think there was a propane tank, if I'm not mistaken, in front of bottom Eskies, right?
No, there's profane. There may have been. I don't remember there being a tank, but there's a tank on top AC.
Yeah, there was something in front of bottom AC, right? And that's, if nobody knows, that's middle of the map to the left of hallway on terminal. But there was something in front of A, like, or bottom AC, right? But at a whole, I would say bringing back maps that everybody loves, right? They need to stop doing that. To me, they need to stop, because 9 times out of 10, that specific map that they bring back, they can either chalk that map completely based off what they do to it, or just based off the game itself, right? Because there's a lot of people that don't like Terminal, mainly because of how you move in this game, right? So from my side, what they could have done better was just make maps themselves. I understand, like, when you go back to MW, or I think it was 2019 Modern Warfare, right? Where Warzone just happened. That's the game that I'm talking about. If you go back to that map, they made maps.
No, I know.
All of them.
This is the
All of
only
them.
game that they've actually ported.
Exactly.
They've throughout the
So,
seasons they've ported throwback maps, but this is
mhm.
the whole game.
But
So
no,
yeah.
no. But like I said, if they could have sat there and made maps for themselves instead of going back, old, and bringing them and implementing them all into the game, to me, I feel like it would have probably been better, right? And it probably would have been more. I can't even think of the word. More sub. It would have been completely better, right?
Right. So
Like it would have played better to me. I feel like that would have happened, because based off how they did, how they tweaked the fucking movement, right? How they in general just made the game go from MW2 to this game. It's, to me, MW2 should have been this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the same. You said the same thing. MW2 should have been this, right? So if they would have made maps themselves, right, instead of bringing these other ones in this game and making it your actual maps, it would have been complete. It would have played completely different, right?
right.
And based off them making those maps for themselves and and they're new and nobody knows what these maps are, I feel like it would have it would have made a more broad uh thought process for these maps that we play as of now. Does it make sense?
I agree, but I'm gonna add on to that. I'm just gonna close on your view of what you think COD should have been and how it should have been made. So this game was rushed. Obviously, we all know that. That avidly play COD knows that this was rushed. If you pay attention to any COD news, you know this is rushed. This game was never in the cards in the original strategy. It was always supposed to be Modern Warfare 2 to end on the small reboot, and then they were supposed to port those maps into year 2, but they never did. They kind of just scrapped that idea and just ported these maps into this new gameplay. That's the reason why the map doesn't fill, and the timings are all off. It's very, very awkward. I mean, it plays, obviously, it's a game. You have to learn where the spots are. And, I mean, you got pro players, competing right now and stuff like that, playing on these maps, and people competing on these maps. But as an avid COD player, me and you both, we know when a game feels off. And there's been games in the past that have just been made terribly. And those are just because of what they've changed in the games. Mm-hmm. But this game, I feel like if it was paid attention to and had a full cycle of development for 3 years instead of like 6 months, because that was how long they made this game.
Yeah, I know.
They made this game within 6 months. That's the reason why the game feels weird. And I've never felt this way about a COD. It feels just weird, rushed. It's not a bad COD by any means. Like I mentioned to you before, it's a middle of the pack COD based off how the TTK is, based off how the game feels. But these maps aren't built for this style of play. It just feels weird. And we can all agree on that. There might be people that disagree with us, but that's obviously your opinion. But overall, that's where, honestly, the reasons why it feels this way and the reasons why we're like, man, this should be, I don't know why this feels so weird. We're always contemplating or always talking about, man, why does this game feel weird today? Why can't I get a grip on this? Why can't I? Because there's so many things that go into play on how a game feels. It's not like back in the day where they made a general, took a 2 to 3 year development and you hopped on. And 2 to 3 development when you hopped on and it felt just good. Like there's certain games. What's the last? All right, so I'll give you an example. I'll ask you a question and I'll say my piece and then we'll end it. What's the last game that was made 2018 and below, last Call of Duty that you played that didn't feel right to you?
I gotta go ahead and say yours. Go ahead and say yours if you got it, but I have to do.
Well, I mean, all right. So I'll list the games and we can just go off that. So from the time I started playing, from Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Ghost, Advanced Warfare, BO3, Infinite Warfare, World War II, after World War II, BO4. That's 2018 right there. That's 2009 to 2018. And COD 4, World at War, and Modern Warfare 2 up until that point. But that's the normal order. I think the only game that felt weird at first was Sledgehammer's World War II because it felt weird. It didn't feel like an organic COD. It eventually got better. That's the thing. It felt weird at first, but eventually I got the hang of the game, how the game was played. But it didn't feel. It didn't feel normal. I'm gonna say World War II at all that. I would say even AW, even BO3 and IW. And IW is probably the worst rated COD that everyone would probably agree on. There's probably some outliers out there, but IW was probably out of all the lists I just named, it's probably the worst. But World War II felt weird. It felt weird. It didn't feel complete up until they made those drastic in-game changes. But for us to, I feel like for us to. For that to happen with this modern game, they'd have to change a lot, and they'd have to implement new maps and stuff like that. It'd be a drastic change, and I feel like COD moves at a certain pace where we're just gonna have to settle for what we have, and that's fine. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion.
I mean, so if we're asking that question, you're asking me that question, I would say WW2. So the reason why for myself. Yeah, I do. So we can put you're probably not going to agree, but we can put Ghost and WW2 not feeling the way at the beginning of the game. We stopped playing. Me and you
Ghost
stopped.
was a hard game
No,
to
yeah,
play.
I know. But I'm saying me and you stopped playing Ghost because of that same situation that you just explained about WW2. But you kept on playing. I stopped playing WW2.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Because to me it didn't feel the way it should felt. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Because me and you are old heads. We've been playing this shit for since we've been in fucking diapers, pretty much, Dan. You know what I'm saying?
For a
So
long time.
the facts. So Ghost and WW2 to me did not feel comfortable. Like it didn't like from the jump. Even after the changes on WW2, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because me and you are so used to using dead silence as a you know perk, right? And now it's not even a perk anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like
What do you mean, like in this game? Are you talking
yeah, and
about?
it's in the new one, it's not a perk.
Wait, well, it's
You have gear.
yeah,
Like
gear, but it's technically a
that don't
perk. But it's
it
kind of
is,
a perk.
yes,
It
but
is and
it's
it
not.
isn't. But
Yeah,
yeah, there's only like a
because
couple games where Dead Silence wasn't in it. But World War II had Dead Silence. So you just had to use a certain person.
yeah, but
And I think they also made
this is
a ribbon or one of those a banner. I think
mhm.
a basic training or whatever to
Yeah.
enable Dead Silence.
So this is why I'm saying what I'm saying, right? Like, yeah, you actually critically just corrected me. Does it make sense?
Right.
But what I'm trying to make you like hear and listen is dead silence on how me and you know how dead silence
Uh huh.
is not even the same anymore. It is not the same anymore. So let me ask the reason why I'm saying this is because here I'm about to fucking hit a light bulb inside your head. Back in the day, if somebody had dead silence, could you hear anything?
I think you heard some stuff, but it would probably be weapons, maybe.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna stop you there. You
Maybe
said weapons.
weapon reloading, weapon switching.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you there. Okay.
Okay.
And this new one, what can you hear?
Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm just gonna explain to you. So with the gear, with the covered sneakers, you can hear slight jingles if you have your headset cranked, and or if you have the loudness equalization on your PC, which is cheese, by the way. It's also not technically cheating and competitive. It's a GA, but I didn't know this. I was brought to my attention that if you rock a Dead Silence as a field upgrade, which you can stack in this game, they don't hear anything. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so it has changed, but that
Yeah.
is another
And
topic
that's
where we can dive in
yeah, no,
regarding
for sure, for sure, for sure.
from
I'm just
console to PC and stuff like that. That's the reason
yeah,
why.
yeah. I completely understand that, and I get where you're going with that. I'm just saying, based off what we know of to what it is now, completely fucking different, right?
Right. It's
And we
not
can both say that to the highest top right now.
that here
We
trying
all
to
understand
rechange
that.
the wheel and the wheel's not.
Yeah. But like I said, WW2 and Ghost on my side just did not feel okay. It didn't feel like
Okay, so those are the games that you chose out of all the other games
exactly.
we listed that
Yeah.
felt the most
Yeah.
off, and it
Mhm.
was a hard to learn.
Yeah.
But did you eventually
But
get used to those games? Or did you give up on those games?
WW2, I kept playing it, but not as much as what I kept playing it after I stopped because I came back to it and I kept on playing it again.
All right, hold on.
And
Let me just list the weapons real quick. NC
yeah.
2010, SA 805, AK-12, the FAD, which was like the Type 95.
Yeah.
The Remington R5, and MSBS Honey Badger, and AR-6 160.
It would have to be the Fad
Friday the
Or
Fat.
that,
It's a weird one. Yeah.
yeah, or the last one that you said.
AR-6 160.
Yeah, it was one of those two. I can't really place
Yeah.
my head on it. But WW2, like I said, I tried to play it again, and I remember playing Search and Destroy with you guys, um, and I still couldn't play it. Like it just all the different
So that game you never got used to. You
nah
got
because
used to
you
Ghost.
like
You just never got used to World War II.
yeah
It was
because
just
you had so many variables in that game that you had to pick from, and it like I get that like there was two of them that you could only use, but even in the game itself, if you try to play that like just for fun and shits and giggles on multiplayer, right? Like it's just I don't know, bro. Like I couldn't the love wasn't there. Does it make sense? Like the love of playing that game and the love of wanting to play that game, it just wasn't there for me. Ghost, there was the love of playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to play COD, wanting to play pubs, to wanting to play multiplayer, wanting to play this, wanting to play that. Like it was there, right? But WW2 just was not there. So like now here's the one thing that I wanted to hit on is yeah, Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare were horrible, right? And that's mine and your opinion, right? But the one out of the two that was very, very good for competitive was Infinite Warfare. And that's a lot of people go with that one for competitive wise.
all right. We're getting off track.
Yeah, but at the end of the whole, WW2 and Ghost. So. Yeah.
Oh, WW2 and Ghost. Okay, Call of Duty, where we think it should be, and how this game could be better. Okay, so we listed that, and then we had like a little subtopic regarding in that, but we talked a lot about COD already.
Yeah.
Let's end it. Let's end some. I wouldn't say into detail about the goals, but list some goals you want to happen in the next 5 years, and we'll end the pot.
Well, hopefully, me and you still be doing this. I hope this thing will pop off on YouTube, and we kind of make a little bit of a living on this, right? Because I feel like this is something that me and you do on a daily basis without even thinking about it.
Right.
So letting other people hear, right? Letting other people see when the actual conversations of the funny ones happen, right? They see how me and you are, right? But I would say just 5 years from now, I just want to see both of us just strive, progress, hold shit down how we are supposed to hold shit down, and hopefully I get a little kiddo, that's really where it's at, because if nobody knows, I'm gonna say this to the people that would be watching and that are gonna be watching. I lost my parents and my older brother within the past 6 years, 5 years. So it's me and my younger brother and my older sister just here, still kicking, but really it's just me and my younger brother. It's been a tough ride, so I feel like having a little kiddo is gonna bring a light into my life. Not degressing my wife, right? Not degressing Dom, which is my best friend, pretty much my brother. Not degressing him, not degressing anybody that's still kicking with me and still in my corner and still in my circle. It's just I feel like a little kiddo would bring out
elevate
the vibe.
your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying so hard not to like get emotional right now, but yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
That's your goals. Okay. Well, my goals is I'll have to agree. Keep pushing with this. We've always procrastinated regarding the podcast. I feel like if we continue this, it definitely give us a reason to keep going. It's been hard for me these past 6 months to 2 years. I'm still trying to find at least a career, which it would be dope to to make a podcast a living, but obviously that's a far dream. So we have to continue to keep pushing and grind for it and really want it. So we will do that. This is the first step in making that happen. But in 5 years, at least, like I said, a career podcast. I'd love to find a house. The housing market's atrocious right now. It has been.
I didn't put that in there because of that.
But yeah, the housing market is terrible. But I'd love to get a house, and maybe I get a kid as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pushing 30, dude, and I think that it's one thing that's been on our bucket list for a long time regarding what steps we needed to take to get to this point. So I think that I want. By the way, this is just an added thing, but. UG, Utilize Gaming is what this podcast is going to be basically sponsored by. And it's going to be called the Stay Charged Podcast. Now, we may not be like cracked or whatever, but it's kind of like it's just kind of the current theme and the current name and title for this podcast. But obviously, I want UG to succeed. And if this podcast succeeds, UG has potential to succeed. I've had a lot of in real life situations where I've had to put UG on the sideburn. So hopefully we can get everything in line and have all our ducks in a row. And, obviously our families grow, our community grow, and people can get to know the real us. That's really mainly the 5 thing, or at least some things in the next 5 years to focus on. So podcast, UG, career, and some kids, man. Good old kiddos. Never thought I'd ever be a dad, but yeah, that's one thing that I feel like that's been kind of missing in my life as well.
Bro, I mean, we pretty much are, right? Like, you got pets. I got a doggy.
I love my fucking cats.
So like, I'm gonna say one more thing, and then we'll end this with a good note. To the people that are watching, Dom just got done saying UG. Okay. I've been his best friend for going on 14, 15 years. We like, for example, we explained before, we play COD, we play a whole bunch of other games, right? And then we're just your average player. But this is what I'm gonna hit on the nose right now is you play stuff competitively. You're looking for good people to be surrounded with. You want to feel like you're, on a team, so on and so forth. UG is it. Promise. 150%. We're all pretty much, everybody that comes in here is pretty much like family. Don't feel hesitant to not ask about it, because with this podcast and with us together, like me and him, we got this. Like we got your back no matter what. So just know, UG, if you want to be a part, don't hesitate on that. Don't think twice about it, because this is a good home. Promise. Trust.
Want to learn more about it? DM me. You can join the Corps. You can hang out with us. We'll teach you a lot of things. We'll show you a lot of things in here. And yeah, man, that's a very sensitive topic. Like you're mentioning kids, and I guess kids is not really as sensitive as it is for you. But UG's kind of like on the sensitive side. I don't want to get too deep in that. I've already made one of those videos where I'm over here like expecting the best, but life just goes curveballs, and life just doesn't happen the way you want it to happen. So if you're looking for a home, you're looking for someone to hang out with, looking for someone to game with regarding whatever game it might be, hey, we got you. But yeah, that's pretty much a wrap. Hopefully, we watch this back, we get the good edits, and we send it out. But other than that, this is the Stay Charged Podcast. I appreciate anyone that tunes in and watches this. I hope you were entertained. If you are not, leave any type of recommendation. I don't care what type of criticism it is. Let us know, because we're trying to improve on this, and we're trying to keep this an ongoing thing. So, all right.
Thanks.
Peace out, guys.